Hello everyone. Welcome back to Art Happens talks and events. I'm so glad that I see people in the gallery right now. So hello in the gallery and hello to those watching from YouTube. I'm very excited and honored to announce we have a first-time participant next to me, Donna. And Donna's here to give a little talk and talk about her experience with the show and what she's been doing and all sorts of fun things. So Donna, take over. Yay.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, this has been a very interesting, experience for me. Honestly, everything's pretty, in my opinion, very new, the things that I'm pursuing, the things that I'm working on, and participation in the one a day was really, really fun and my first time doing it. And I thought that I would love to keep going and participating in it every year. So who I am, my name is Donna Umali Mendoza. And basically, what I want to talk to today is basically finding Zen Mama because, the reason why I'm titling it that is because, first of all, I'm a mother of 4 kids, and then sometimes it can be quite chaotic. And in this chaos, somehow songwriting has found me. I didn't actually go out and look for songwriting. It just kind of came into my life. And then through this process, I've kind of figured out a few things. And I did attempt to write a song called Zen Mama. And it ended up being something completely different. And I wanted to share that with you because maybe it might be interesting to you. Anyway, some background for me about me. I was born and raised in Hawaii. So I was very lucky. Pretty much 19 years I lived there until I moved to California to study film and TV. And then, I met my husband there. So there wasn't any reason for me to go back. So I've been here for over 20 years now. So I've pretty much been half my life here and there, but I still consider both my home. And then, I was trying to pursue a whole career in film and TV. And that kind of had to be put on the side because when my husband was or is an editor and I was also doing post-production. So we were both working on TV shows and stuff. But when I started to think about having a family and stuff, it got a little bit complicated. It's very difficult with both parents to be, be trying to hustle and work these very rigorous schedules and stuff. So I said I would put everything aside and figure out what I really wanted to do because editing wasn't exactly my passion. And then it ended up being about 10 years of putting it aside. And in that 10 years time, I gave birth to 3 girls and 1 boy. And it's been, quite a ride, They're still quite little. It's their ages are 9, 7, 5, and 3. And it's easy around this time of year because it's every 2 years. But once there's birthdays, it gets kind of nuts. Anyway, so I kind of lost my, my creative path. So I didn't really have much of an outlet. During this time, I thought I would be writing a whole bunch of screenplays and getting that part together and organized, but it was really hard. And I didn't know what was my problem. And maybe I still do have a little bit of an issue, but something happened. I guess one night, I don't know, I was very sick, with the flu or something. And it was a few years ago. And I guess when I was staying up late watching Netflix, and I was oh, I have to write this stuff down. And usually I do write things down in a journal or poetry or whatever. I've been writing poetry all my life just for fun. And then I looked down and I was you know what? It's kind of looks like a rap song. And then from that point on, I was well, if it wants to be a rap song, then I don't know, let's see where it goes. So I started to learn how to songwrite. And I was okay, I'll just write a few more rap songs and see what happens. But they're just lyrics, I just me, writing and saying, oh, okay, it sounds like a song. And then I took, a few songwriting classes. And from there, it gave me very insights into form and like things to keep in mind so that the listener can understand the story that you're trying to tell. So all of these little pieces kind of came together, and now like I've kind of developed a method for this type of like songwriting process that I do for myself. And what I found that after doing it many times, that it's gotten so like much easier, and the process for me has been kind of mind blowing, and it's filled this kind of void that was left open from from me not trying to find that creative self, that play self that I was kind of missing. Anyway, so I don't know, any questions at this point?
Oh, I'm sure there we always have questions. I was thinking about when you were talking about the school, they were wondering like how many classes did you have to like,
Oh,
what were you taking?
okay, so that's a good question. You know what? Songwriting classes are really expensive, but what I found was there's so many like avenues, for education. So while I was trying to develop my own method, with that worked with my style and my, trying to balance my time and stuff. So I had very limited time, of course. So I did like go on write blogs, and I did, there is one magazine that I actually really enjoyed. It's called This American Songwriter. So I ended up submitting my lyrics for their contest, but I also ended up like being a subscriber because I did find their articles very fascinating. And then I also attended some classes at the Songwriting School of Los Angeles. And what was nice about that group of people over there, and the classes there, is that if you wanted to test it out, the class, to see if this was the class that you needed to take, you can take the first class for free, and just see if you have a good rapport with the teacher and that you think that you could gain some benefit from it. So that's what I kind of did. I said, I don't have enough time and money to dedicate to full courses, so I said I'm going to just study it just to see which of these classes I can invest in later on once I know exactly, I had 6 Mondays I can dedicate, or something like that. So I started taking all of these classes from there. And then the class that really, so by the time I was ready to delve in and take a class, which was, very just recently. So I had already written about like 15 or 16 like songs that I had a melody and lyrics for. And I said that at this point, the class that I should take is a master's class with a mentor. So that mentor was Mark Winkler. And basically in this class, you present your work, and then the class and Mark, him being the, I guess he was a platinum, songwriter. And, he has these techniques about trying to do, his other class is actually commercial songwriting. And then so what he did, which I thought was really, really good for me, was kind of like give me structure, like, because I break a lot of, rules whenever, and I think it's important that you do, because that's when all the interesting stuff comes around, but at the same time, you still have to kind of like stay within a certain form so that it can kind of feel familiar to the people who are used to form. So that's what happened. And so that's what I did as far as songwriting classes go.
Yeah.
Is there any other question?
Yeah. How did you even find time? You were talking about 4 kids.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, so as far as the time balance, it is very challenging. And, it took me a long time to be like honest with myself, and also to give myself a lot more credit as far as like not, beating myself up when there are things that I wanted to accomplish that I didn't get to that day. So little by little, I kind of developed like, a little bit of routine for myself, as well as a lot of love, like I had to give myself a lot of love. And which, it's like, as a woman and a mom, it can be really hard, because you always give yourself out, and you're always servicing other people, and everybody is demanding of you and stuff like that. But then you also have to like shave some time for yourself. So in the morning, I have like this. I have chickens. I raise chickens for like eggs and stuff. So that's, I find it like that's kind of like my time, where I take care of my chickens and I go into the garden and I check out the little sprouts and pick all the fruit. And I find that, with all of that open time with the nature and stuff like that, it really healed some of my, like scars that, I had to deal with. Like, say, for example, like my dad passing away or something like that. So I felt like, each one of those, actions really helped in building, some of that support system. And then majority of my time that I'd spend songwriting, I have to kind of parse it out during the day. So what's nice about songwriting is that you can write at any time. You can write when you're in your car, and sometimes I do have to pull over and be like, my phone and record voice recording. Okay, I got a new, a new melody that I have to record right away. So I put it in my phone, and that's where it's really handy to have a voice recorder on there, always available, and my notes always go on there too. And then I do it when I'm washing the dishes, I'm in the shower. Sometimes I try to tell the muses, I'm like, turn it off for now because it's getting too much. I can't even keep up sometimes, But I take it with good stride, because I feel like, my brain is always working on, and I call them like little solutions, like I think that's the way I'm programmed, is because I love solving problems and stuff like that. And I feel that part of the songwriting process is, always coming up with solutions. And I do it in my sleep. Sometimes I wake up and then I remember this dream, and there's certain details I need to write down, and I write it down right away, because it always goes away after like 30 seconds. It's gone, and then I dedicate, after the kids go to bed, I dedicate, it doesn't even have to be a lot of time. Actually, I give whatever time that I feel is necessary. So if I only have 5 minutes to just write down something really fast, then I will give myself that 5 minutes. Most of the time it's about an hour. And if I'm really good, it's about 2 hours. And usually within a 2 hour span, I pretty much have a song. So, some days are better than others, but giving myself that moment to like have, a sit down in a formal situation where I attack something, like basically I have a concept that I want to focus on today, or I really want to find a melody in my chord progression generator, or I have a problem that I've been trying to figure out, like why this doesn't seem to flow. So each one of these things I attack, and whether or not I figure it out by that time period, it doesn't really matter as long as I dedicate that time for it.
Very cool. I love that, the different tricks for finding some time. And how many things did you write for the month of January?
Oh, goodness. So just to give you perspective. So, when I first started songwriting, it took me 6 months to write one song. Mm. Like when I say a song, I mean that it had a lyrics, or it had a set of lyrics that I felt like I couldn't change anymore. And it also had a melody, and I really enjoyed the song. So it can't be like a song that I was like, oh, I really hate this song, but it's done. That I put with a dash. So I put dash song, and that means it's kind of on the back burner, and it's being, it's percolating, and it's
still got to tweak it.
Yeah, basically. So when I really say song, that means that it took me six months to get that one out. And then I ended up like writing maybe 2 more before something happened, something clicked. And then during this time period, I had some time where I was home in Hawaii. And I don't know if it's being home or being like around a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables and being with my mom and maybe having only half the children at that time. But I was in Hawaii for about 6 weeks. And during that time period, I basically like wrote like crazy. By the time I started the class, I had 14 songs.
Oh my
And
God.
then, yeah, it was kind of nuts because pretty much every night I had a song. And granted, you know, there's probably stuff that I still wanted to tweak, but it was pretty close to final, you know.
Wow.
And after that, I came home to California, back again to my reality. And I have to say, it was a hard adjustment, you know, because I felt like, you know, being in Hawaii was my job was the songwriting, but being in California, my job was everything else. I actually have a custom t-shirt printing business that I do full time, you know, so I didn't have that while I was, you know, being creative. I did my phone calls and I said, okay, this is what you need to do.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can we see any or read any of these?
Oh yeah,
songs or
sure.
hear them?
I can even share the one I got produced. I did produce one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it does take a lot of money to actually like produce them. And you know, if you really wanted to go into that route, like, you know, you have to buy microphones and computer software programs and stuff. And technically I had half of it. And I just needed like a better mic. So I ended up recording my vocals, sending it to a producer, and the producer kind of helped me develop all of the, you know, all of the arrangement and the instruments and stuff like that. And then another friend helped me out with maybe like even refining it even more. So how do I share it? Do I just play it on my computer?
Yeah, you can. Well, you can play it, have the sound, but you can also play share your screen.
Oh, okay. Can you hear that?
It'll ask you to play the sound.
Okay, so if I go share screen, sharing is easiest. So share screen.
We're all learning together, everyone.
Yeah. Okay. And I want to share this one.
Yes. Find the
share. So it's this
here
one.
it comes. Here we come. So you could play.
Oops.
Or you you took it away. Here it comes back. Are you playing a song?
Yes.
Oh, we can't hear it.
Oh. Maybe because it.
You have to share. You have to share permission for sound.
Oh, okay. Give me a second. Sorry, guys.
It's learning. It's like everyone in the gallery trying to learn how to maneuver around, trying to find everything. You know?
Yeah, it's this one. Show advanced audio.
It's like songwriting too.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, what I like to say is that you want to, you know, take everything in stride, you know. Default. Let's see. So where does it say to share the audio when you're sharing the screen? So you can't hear it then.
I didn't hear it at that time, but you'll be able to share the audio checkbox.
Okay, let me try one more time.
And if not, we can put up the website or a link.
Well, how about, do you think it says it can share a video file? Do you think if I share an audio file?
Let's try it.
Okay.
Let's learn together.
Bear with me.
Yeah, it's kind of like we're taking a class together, everyone. We can do this.
So yeah, so this one only accepts video files. Okay, hold on one second.
Yeah. Once it pops up, we'll all enjoy the song.
Okay, so let's do it one more time. So share screen. It says follow these steps to share audio. Share screen, share button, Chrome tab, application window, share audio. Oh, okay.
You got it.
So, okay. Let's try it again. I want to go back to this. I want to go share screen. I want to go Chrome tab, share audio.
There you go. I knew you'd figure it out.
Okay. And then iTunes, share. Okay, let's try it.
Everyone. Okay.
So I'm not used to hearing my voice, so which my facial expression is going to be weird. Is it playing?
Oh, no, I don't hear anything yet. Screen's so tiny, it's hard to tell if it's playing. In the meantime.
Yeah, it's playing right now.
Oh. Is any of this connected to your social media?
No, I don't think
here?
so.
Are you allowed, since it was produced, it's still like, does that make it still your song?
Oh yeah, it does, because the way that I arranged it basically I pay per the play, and I own the stems.
So when you say you pay for the play, what does that mean?
So basically, I'm paying that person to produce the music for me, like without him having points, I guess is what they call it, like the points for, like, say for example, if it gets streamed on iTunes or whatever, he doesn't have ownership on the masters, and he doesn't have ownership in the residual income.
And do you have it somewhere? You should put it somewhere so you get some.
Yeah, this one I'm still working on, as far as like, as far as.
It's just not ready yet for us. That's all right.
Yeah. So my plan, again, like, is that okay? So you can see that, right? And then, shoot.
This is technology. Sometimes it works with you, sometimes against you.
Yeah, I can also put it on. I have it on a Google Drive too. Okay, so it's not playing for you guys, right?
No, it is not playing for us. Is it in the gallery though? What do you have in the gallery?
No, I didn't add it into the gallery, but I can.
What is your artwork
My artwork is a song, but I didn't oh, okay, this might work. Okay. I didn't put the audio of it because that one, every time I recorded it, it didn't quite get there, because it would have been a rough, like, on my phone type of thing. So I figure I'll just share the lyrics. 30 days of it is intense enough. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to share this screen.
Okay.
So I'm going to share my Google Drive screen, this one, and I'm going to share the audio.
Okay.
Let's see.
Oh, yeah. We hear it.
Yay!
There's less gravity on the moon. Let's make dusty footsteps redefine all the physics. But dreams aren't what they seem. Going against the stream wakes all the critics. I'm not a doctor, let's take a label on me. Am I rich or poor? I'm the civic or Maserati. Harlequin books or the literati. Doesn't matter when all I wanna be is different from you. Cause I wanna be me. I wanna be the living dream. The living dream. The living dream. There's more treasure in the sea. Let's swim out to the deep and make discovery. But I was told never go down, that I might even drown because of my dumb reverie. I'm not just a daughter or mother, stick a label on me. Am I rich or poor? I'm the civic or Maserati. Harlequin books or the literati. Doesn't matter when all I wanna be is different from you. Cause I wanna be me. I wanna be the living dream.
This is so happy. I like it.
The living dream. The living dream.
Yeah.
All the rules, all the chains, all the weights, all the bonds that confine me. doesn't matter when all I wanna be is different from you. Cause I wanna be free, I wanna be the living dream. The living dream. The living dream. That dream is me. That dream is me. That dream is me. That dream is me.
So
Yay.
that's basically it. Yeah, that was quite an endeavor, I have to say.
Yeah, I mean,
Lots of learning curves.
no, it was great. I was listening to the lyrics and listening to music. I was like, this is matching. This is, this is. I was wondering also, like, are all your songs, or are they similar in spirit? And
There's so many. Like, I basically at this point, like, I'm doing a lot of experimentation. Like, I have one that's kind of a reggae beat with a lot of spoken word in it. And then there's some that are rock. There's some that are like some are like EDM. I feel like I could make it in EDM. So I think what I'm trying to do is maybe I'm finding my style and what I enjoyed the most. And I do enjoy them all, honestly. They're all really, I think for me, I don't have anything to really like prove as a songwriter artist. Like, I don't need to be ultra successful at this. I ultimately like want to have songs for my kids to like go to whenever, if I'm gone, they can still hear my voice and get a good feeling about it. But most songs are, at this point, I'm writing about, like, the last song I just wrote was about inspiration. And sometimes it's called Bang Bang Boomerang. It hits you and it comes right back, like around when you send it out. And then the other one, it's also a new one, is Let It Go. So you're asking in the month of January, how many have I written? About one per week.
Wow.
So 4 or 5 songs. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a little challenging, like, honestly, it was much harder here in California trying to juggle it all. But I signed up for another round of classes, and that really kept me on target because I had to be held accountable. I paid for the class to, like, to have this mentorship. So I had to have something to show, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we have little meetups during the month of January. Not just for accountability, but just also be like, okay, well, I haven't really done anything. Let me do it now while I'm meeting.
Exactly. And I think that is really helpful because the support system for my class was really nice. I was surrounded by people who are like in the same situation as me, trying to be creative, trying to find inspiration. Sometimes we get stuck. Sometimes we write about songs that really like touch us and we don't know if it's working, So it's just kind of nice to have all of that, all in at the same time.
Oh, definitely. It's very helpful. Yeah. Well, this has been very educational for me, learning how to balance everybody. I do that in my own way. Because even if you don't have kids, you might have pets, you might have roommates,
it's not
family.
The way we were brought up, our lifestyle is quite chaotic. Like, we're always like working, like, and there's really, they don't really teach you how to, not work. So, yeah. But what I wanted to share is like, so Zen, the definition that I looked up is basically, it is like in Buddhism and in the Japanese culture, but it's also a state of calm attentiveness in which one's actions are guided by intuition rather than conscious effort. And I do feel that not just songwriting, but a lot of the things that we do, sometimes we try to force it, like maybe like driving to work or whatever, and we're stuck in traffic and we're late or whatever. Sometimes we might have to reach into that point of Zen where it's just like, why don't we just let traffic guide us to work versus trying to weave our way?
Be late. At least you're gonna get there.
Yeah, exactly. So that's how I really like, to approach the whole like songwriting process and the art process. I'm sure like when people are, and you can feel that, right? Like, don't you feel like sometimes you get into your groove and you're like, where did this come from? But I do feel like it comes from like being prepared and knowing, wow, you just reached this point where you're using your intuition and you're trying to, create something with playing and stuff. So that's also what I wanted to impart.
Yeah, no, keeping it fun.
Mhm.
It's not supposed to be stressful.
Yeah. So the song that I had attempted to do, which is Zen Mama, which is it's there, it's on the back burner still, but it ended up being a song called Your Mama Makes a Mean Beef Stew, and it's a blues song.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, isn't that funny? Because what happened was the Zen Mama I envisioned a woman in the middle of cooking. A child is holding onto her leg, screaming and crying, and there's another child screaming and crying, and I was trying to envision a mom in a yoga pose trying to find her legs, but it ended up being like a mom talking to the child. Hey, I know it's hard to wait, and I know you're feeling blue, and I know that like this is not how you wanted it to be, but if you just hold on a minute, your mama makes a mean beast. You'll see. Yeah. So and I embraced it, because it went into this left hand turn, and now if like I could have taken it so many different, I could have ignored it and said like, I really need to just finish this Zen Mama song or whatever. Or I could have been like, oh, that's just a stupid idea. Like, why would I ever like think of writing a song about beef stew? Sorry, hold on a second. And then so basically, like I ended up now with 2 songs. So I was happy with that, like so many different outcomes, and that's really a positive outcome. Yeah.
That totally is. Everything you said is. And I'm so glad you came and shared, and that you're part of the Art Happens show, and that you're ready to do some more shows in the future. Yay.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Thank you for the invitation. This is really, I see all of these opportunities for growth and all of that stuff. And if you want to check out my project, so basically I wrote a song about like these women who, helped me become like a better me. I forgot what it's called, The Best I Can Be. And it's about all these, I couldn't write a whole song about all of the inspirational women. I could only pick like 5 or 6 or something like that and add it into the song. But, at that point I was like, hey, I think I want to focus in and learn more about these other like women. So I just started, drawing their names, and in order for me to draw their names, I had to like find out who they were first, like what kind of accomplishments made them, famous or known and stuff. So and then I found like people from different cultures, and I was like, oh, I felt really inspired.
There's so many inspiring people out there.
Yeah. So now when I see their names, I see my artwork in my head now, so it's just like all the little details that I added, and I hope I can keep that in my heart.
I know you can. As we are all going to keep trying to be Zen in our own way, no matter which direction that takes us. And it's a beautiful thing that we need to accept and learn from. And thank you again, Donna, for sharing.
No problem.
Thank you for everyone in the gallery watching, and everyone watching via YouTube. And you can share this link with your friends. They could watch later too. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.